There comes a moment in every twin flame connection when love feels like both a blessing and a storm. It's beautiful, magnetic, and life altering, yet it also tests every boundary, fear, and wound that two souls have ever carried. The connection burns with a light so pure that it exposes everything hidden in the shadows. And when that happens, one twin, often called the runner, begins to retreat, to hide, to build walls out of confusion and fear. This withdrawal often leaves the other, the chaser, feeling lost and questioning. Do they still love me? Do they even feel this connection the way I do? It's one of the hardest parts of the journey, because on the surface, the runner may seem distant, uninterested, or even cold. Yet beneath that silence lies something far more complex and tender, a love so deep it frightens them. You see, the twin flame journey is not about ordinary love. It's not about romantic gestures or surface-level attraction. It's about two souls coming face to face with the mirror of their own truth. The runner doesn't run because they don't love you. They run because they do. The intensity of that recognition shakes them to their core. It threatens the false identities they've built to survive in the world. So instead of leaning in, they pull away, hoping distance will make the feelings fade, but it never does. If you are on this path and your twin has withdrawn, I want you to know something. Their silence is not indifference. Their distance is not rejection. It is a form of self-protection. They are fighting an inner war, one between the love that draws them to you and the fears that convince them they're not ready for it. Let's explore together 7 clear signs that your runner loves you deeply, but fears to admit it. As you watch this, allow yourself to feel seen and comforted. You are not imagining this love. You are not chasing a ghost. You are part of something sacred that's unfolding in divine timing. Let's start. 1. Their energy never truly leaves you. Even when your runner disappears physically, no calls, no messages, no visible presence, you still feel them. Their energy lingers around you like an invisible current. It's not obsession or imagination. It's the unbreakable energetic cord between twin flames. The more they try to pull away, the more the energy seems to amplify. This happens because your souls are in constant communication, even when your human selves are not. The runner may block you, move cities, or even start dating someone else, but you'll still sense them in your thoughts, dreams, and emotions. Their energy will find ways to reach you through songs, random synchronicities, or sudden waves of emotion that seem to come out of nowhere. When they love you deeply but fear to admit it, their higher self keeps that connection alive. They may consciously try to ignore you, but subconsciously, they're still intertwined with you. Their energy becomes restless when you pull back, and peaceful when you send love. This is how you know the connection is real, not because of constant contact, but because of constant presence. The love transcends physical separation. The runner's fear may cause their human self to retreat, but their soul cannot turn off what it feels. When you sense their energy, don't resist it. Instead of focusing on their absence, nurture your own energy. Ground yourself, breathe deeply, and send love without expectation. This strengthens your spiritual connection while allowing you to detach from the pain of waiting. You'll start to notice that the more you balance your energy, the calmer their energy becomes as well. The bond will feel lighter, more peaceful, and this shift will slowly draw them back towards you when they're ready. 2. They watch you from a distance. When a twin flame runner loves you but can't face their emotions, they often become quiet observers. They may not reach out, but they watch, sometimes literally, sometimes energetically. They keep track of you in ways that don't draw attention. They might check your social media, ask mutual friends about you, or sense your moods through the connection. It's their way of staying close without confronting what terrifies them: vulnerability. They want to know you're okay, that you're still there, that you haven't forgotten them. Yet they can't bring themselves to bridge the gap because doing so would expose the very feelings they're running from. This silent observation comes from love mixed with fear. They long to reconnect, but are afraid of rejection or emotional intensity. The love you share triggers their deepest insecurities, the fear of not being enough, of losing control, or of reliving old wounds. Watching from afar feels safer than being seen fully. If you sense this happening, don't chase or demand proof. Trust that love doesn't need constant validation. By maintaining your inner peace and joy, you show them that love doesn't have to be chaotic or suffocating. When they feel your calmness, it reassures them that the connection is safe. Energetically, they will start to feel drawn toward your light again. Your confidence becomes a silent invitation. You are teaching them, without words, that love doesn't have to be feared, and that realization slowly begins to dissolve the walls they've built. 3. They mirror your emotions. One of the most profound signs your twin flame loves you but can't admit it is how deeply they mirror your emotional state. When you're calm, they feel peaceful. When you're sad or anxious, they suddenly feel restless or heavy without knowing why. This mirroring is not coincidence. It's the energetic reflection of your bond. Because twin flames share the same frequency, your emotional energy affects them even from afar. When you think of them with love, they feel a warmth that soothes their fears. When you feel hurt or abandoned, they experience discomfort without understanding its source. It's as if your souls are in constant dialogue through emotion rather than words. The runner may not consciously understand why their moods shift in sync with yours, but deep down, they sense that you are the one who feels like home. Your emotions touch them in ways no one else's can. That's why they often withdraw when they sense your pain, not because they don't care, but because they do. They feel overwhelmed by the emotional intensity and don't know how to process it. To navigate this, begin by mastering your own emotional energy. When you focus on inner peace, healing, and joy, it directly affects the energy between you. The runner begins to feel lighter and more drawn to reconnect, even if they don't understand why. They start associating your energy with serenity rather than chaos. This becomes the foundation of eventual reunion. So when you notice their moods mirroring yours, remember, it's not coincidence. It's love reflected through the soul's mirror. Shadow 4. Their life seems to pause without you. When a runner loves you deeply but refuses to admit it, their life often feels stagnant. On the surface, they might appear fine, working, socializing, or even moving on. But beneath that facade, nothing truly fulfills them. They may jump into distractions, new relationships, or projects, yet everything eventually feels empty. This is because twin flame love awakens them to a depth of emotion they can't find anywhere else. Once their soul has tasted that kind of connection, ordinary experiences no longer satisfy them. Their spirit quietly longs for that energy, your presence, your essence, your vibrational frequency. You might notice that they go in circles, repeating the same patterns or facing similar lessons in different forms. This is the universe gently nudging them to confront what they're avoiding. Love. Life will keep mirroring their internal state until they realize that running away from you is the same as running away from themselves. When this happens, be patient. You don't need to fix or rescue them. Your role is to keep growing, healing, and shining in your own path. Your progress creates an energetic pull that inspires their transformation. As you rise in self-love, they subconsciously begin to face their own shadows. Their life pausing without you isn't punishment. It's the soul's way of saying, you can't escape your truth. And that truth is the love they feel for you, whether they admit it or not. Hatch 5. They struggle to replace you. A runner in denial often tries to fill the void you left. They may enter new relationships, but none of them feel right. Every connection lacks depth. Every affection feels forced. They might convince themselves they've moved on, but deep within, they compare everyone to you. No matter how much time passes, your presence lingers like an echo in their heart. They remember your energy, not just your face or your voice, but the feeling of being seen and understood. Twin flame love imprints on the soul, and no other relationship can replicate that frequency. When they attempt to replace you, they're not being cruel. They're trying to silence their confusion. The runner often doesn't understand why their heart refuses to detach. They might even resent the intensity of the connection. So they search for something easier, something that doesn't make them face their wounds. But that search always ends in emptiness. This realization often becomes one of the first steps toward awakening. The runner begins to understand that what they felt with you was not ordinary. It was sacred. It was home. If you see them trying to move on, don't despair. The connection isn't over, it's evolving. Every failed attempt to replace you brings them closer to accepting the truth. Focus instead on your own healing. When you stand in your wholeness, your energy becomes magnetic again. They feel it, and eventually, they can't resist coming back to where love feels real. 6. They return in subtle ways. Even when they can't openly admit their love, the runner finds ways to reconnect, quietly, cautiously, and often unexpectedly. You might receive a random message out of nowhere, a song sent by mistake, or a brief check-in that seems casual but carries deep meaning. These small gestures are their way of testing the waters, of seeing if it's safe to come closer again. They may pretend it's nothing, but these moments reveal everything. A soul that's truly detached doesn't seek reconnection. The fact that they reach out, even in subtle ways, shows that love still lives within them. It's just wrapped in fear. Each return, however small, is part of their internal struggle between love and fear. They miss you, but they don't yet trust themselves to stay. So they appear, then retreat again. It can feel like an emotional roller coaster, but in truth, it's progress. Every reappearance means the walls are weakening. When this happens, stay grounded. Respond with kindness, but not attachment. Let your energy communicate safety and calmness. The runner is learning that love doesn't have to hurt or overwhelm. Through your steadiness, you show them that the connection can exist without chaos. Over time, these subtle returns become more consistent. They reach out more often, stay longer, and open up deeper. Love starts to outweigh fear. And when that tipping point comes, reunion becomes inevitable. 7. Their soul keeps guiding them back to you. No matter how far they run, the universe keeps placing reminders of you in their path. They see your name, dream of you, or encounter symbols that tie back to your connection. These synchronicities aren't coincidences. They are divine signs guiding their soul home. When a twin flame loves you deeply but denies it, the universe becomes their teacher. Life will keep bringing your energy into their awareness until they surrender to the truth. Even if they resist, they cannot escape destiny. Every song, every number pattern, every memory that resurfaces is a nudge from the divine saying, "You're not done here." This pull can be confusing for them. They might try to rationalize it, but the feeling never fades. The connection is designed to evolve both souls toward unconditional love, and that means healing, growth, and reunion. You too will feel this guiding force. The more you align with your higher self, the more peaceful the journey becomes. Instead of waiting or longing, you start to trust. You realize that love doesn't need chasing. It only needs alignment. The runner's soul will always be magnetized to yours, no matter how much time or distance passes. That's the beauty and challenge of twin flame love. It cannot be destroyed, only transformed. And when both souls are ready, divine timing brings you back together effortlessly. If you've recognized these signs, know that your twin flame still loves you, deeply, powerfully, and silently. Their fear doesn't erase that love. It only delays its expression. The journey is not punishment. It's preparation for both of you to rise into your highest selves. The runner's fear is their teacher. Your patience is your strength. Together, these forces shape the kind of love that transcends lifetimes. Your role is not to wait endlessly, but to grow courageously. Heal your wounds, follow your passions, reconnect with your joy. As you evolve, the vibration of your soul shifts, and that shift calls your twin back, not through desperation, but through divine resonance. Remember, twin flame love isn't about possession, it's about transformation. It's the sacred fire that purifies the soul. When both of you have healed enough to embrace that love without fear, reunion becomes the natural outcome. Until then, trust the process, trust the silence, trust the connection that beats beneath the surface of separation. Because even when your runner hides, their soul whispers your name, and love, true love, always finds its way home.